Guys, I want to share an important concept with you that I created this morning upon reflection of why, when I hire a coach with the intention to make money, I make money. And I was looking at that because I know there's a number of people that hire coaches to make money and they don't make more money. They might make a little bit, but they don't really grow financially. They grow internally. And at the end of the coaching program, they say, well, I know I went in with the idea to make money, but I really grew. I feel better as a person. I've grown in other ways that I really value. And so it was worth it. With nothing wrong with that. But if the thing that you're doing that's keeping the money growth out, you don't handle, then every time you hire a coach with the intention to make more money, you'll not make more money and you'll get other kinds of growth and you'll justify it and it'll just keep going and going and going and going. And I know people that have been being in their own business as a coach and in other industries hiring coaches and just keep doing this over and over and over again. They perpetually grow in all ways except the one way that was at the forefront of their mind when they hired the coach in the first place. So I'm going to share with you how this is created by sharing with you what the only thing you need to do. The only thing you need to do to shift this, and I'm just setting this up first because when I share the only thing that you need to do in order to shift this, when you hear it, you'll probably hear it through the way that you think I mean it, which is the way that most people mean it when they say this, because it sounds like very basic advice. And when you hear it that way, it's probably going to make you feel shit. And so when you feel shit, if you feel shit, I won't say you definitely will. If you feel shit when I say it, don't turn the video off. Notice the feeling and just hang with me for a second because I'm going to share another way of looking at this thing that sounds familiar to help you have access to it in a new way and not to feel shit about yourself, okay? So, by the way, if this is your first time watching my videos and you're not subscribed, click the subscribe button. It's somewhere around here, but if you're on Facebook or whatever, just hang tight and I'm gonna share this with you now. So the only thing you need to do differently to make money when you hire a coach is to stay committed to making money. Yeah. It's literally that simple. I see it all the time. People drift off. They just tend to start to focus on other things, or they decide that this is more valuable, or they forget, and they take their eye off it. They take your eye off prize. And then suddenly you're creating in other ways. You're creating other things. Of course you are, because you're not focused on that. So you're not committed to making money, right? So doesn't that feel shitty for somebody that's tried a number of times to hire a coach to make money and not made money? When I say that to you, you're not committed. Do you feel shitty? I'm kind of milking it a bit. I'm using the energy of saying you're not committed in the way that people typically say it. And it's just, you gotta be committed, man. And it's like, what is that energy that I'm feigning right now? You gotta be committed. You have to bring the force of will down on your soul and crush that fucking thing and just get to work, right? Just make your whole life a miserable hell so you can get that thing that matters to you. Now, what the fuck? I hope you can see already that that's not coherent with creating perspective, the place I live from, the way that I create everything in my universe, in my world, inside and outside, right? And so when I say you're not committed, I'm holding it lightly. Hey, you're just not committed. It's like you didn't realize that you had gum on your shoe. It's not bad. You just didn't know. You're innocent. But what do you mean I didn't know? Isn't commitment something I always know? Actually, no, not in my world. To me, commitment isn't even something I do. It's something that happens. Commitment happens. It's what people see when I show up consistently for something. But people think that consistency is born from some kind of force or willpower. It's not. Commitment, in my world, in my experience, is that thing that happens naturally as the outpouring of love and joy with consistency. And what creates that? Does consistency come through force? Well, it can, but you die of a heart attack. So that's not my preferred method of developing consistency. It's just a gentle holding of attention. I call it staying power. Staying power you cultivate gently and easily. Staying power is not something that comes through massive force. Staying power is a tree that's deeply rooted, but how do those roots get there? Just a gentle, slow nudging themselves into the earth longer and longer. The longer they go into the earth, the more they extend themselves gently, slowly, the stronger they're holding the earth and the more staying power that tree has. And so if I'm cultivating staying power, there's no force, there's nothing heavy. There's no heavy lifting in the cultivation of staying power. It's gentle, it's light. If there's something that I want to be committed to, right? Then that doesn't come through making myself do anything. For example, pragmatically, it comes through, in the morning I wake up, I get my journal. Why do I get my journal? Because I know I get to have it with my coffee. And I look forward to it because I get a really nice pen and a nice journal and I sit in a nice place. And I make all these things about my morning ritual something that, I can't wait to do that. And so I'm drawn into it from just natural desire and the pleasure of it. So I look forward to it. So I make it easy. And then I'm there. And what am I doing? I'm just gently reminding myself. There's no have to. I don't have to stay committed. I go from joy in this and pleasure in this into just reminding myself of what's important to me. Why would I do that? If it's important to you, you'd remember it. Now see that? That's the judge that lives in your mind that came from the outside world that you now perpetuate inside you. You are your own boss, which is fucking misery. It's like living in a corporate office in your head. Get that guy out. Fire that boss. It's just a gentle reminder of what's important to me, because the reality is the idea that if it was important you to remember it, that's a fucking evil lie. I forget the most important shit to me all the time unless I remind myself. So I welcome the idea that the human mind forgets what the heart holds as important. There's this fracture between the two. The world is noisy. Of course I'm going to forget. I'm being constantly stimulated. And so the heart's like, hey, about that loud, hey. And if I don't take time through pleasure to remind myself of what's important to me, then I'll forget. And if I forget, I'll zigzag all over the place. There won't be consistency because I won't be showing up in action every day sourced from what matters to me. So if you want staying power, which would be useful if you want to actually make money when you hire a coach, instead of have that intention then forget about it, or move away from it the moment it gets uncomfortable, or the moment you have a non-result, like a result that you don't get the result that you want and you move away. Well, you want staying power so that doesn't happen, so you stay with it, but not through force, not through pressure, not through willpower, not through just beating yourself up, not through trying harder. You create a ritual that's daily, where it starts with pleasure, and you gently go into this place of reminding yourself of what's important to you, because it is natural for you to forget what's important to you. Welcome that. I will forget what's important to me if I don't remind myself every day. That's not a problem. I don't buy into the story that means that I don't care. Fuck that. I know what matters to me, and I know that I will forget, and that doesn't mean it doesn't matter to me. It means I'm natural and I decay just like everything else in the universe, so I'm gonna hold it present. That's the beauty and power of consciousness. I can hold an idea present through my consciousness. And through holding it present over and over again, I bring the heart to the mind, heart to the mind, heart to the mind. I create coherence and energy and attention, and the reticular activating system of my neurological system puts my attention on things where I see things that are happening in different ways than I would if I had forgotten what's important to me. Just because the heart knows doesn't mean the eyes will see. The mind has to know what the heart knows, and the mind needs to be reminded. See how that rhymes? I didn't even catch that before, but now you know. Now we both know. That'll come up somewhere again. So staying power is how you'll create money when you hire a coach. If that's what you want, you won't forget. And you won't forget not because you made yourself remember, but because you gently reminded your mind of what matters in your heart. And that is all you need. Then you go and live your day, steward the life that's right in front of you with that awareness of what matters to you, and your actions and your opportunities will unfold from that in a way that will actually make you make money. I love you. If you'd like my support in making money, then talk to me about how we can cultivate staying power in you. Maybe it's in Creator Circle. We have one starting soon. Reach out to me. We'll talk. Much love. Talk to you soon.